just gone lunchtime. This is All Angles here on eNCA. Good afternoon. I'm Masego Ratlaga. It is that time of the day when we give you an update on how far some of the stories we've been following for you on channel have advanced. Here's your lunchtime update. Our reporters are out and about bringing you the latest on today's top stories. I'm joined by Aisha Ismail in Swellendam. Hlonim Timkulu is in Camille's Drift, and Mangoba Mkunu is in Diepsloot for us. Aisha, let's start with you. Swellendam residents are resorting to violence in a bid to have their indigent benefits restored. This after, of course, Mayor Francia Durant told beneficiaries that they would have to reapply. But residents aren't happy with this. There's even been a Tusong center that's been set alight. Have firefighters arrived to put out the fire?
So, Masego, yes, firefighters did arrive as well as reinforcement officers, but we have moved away from the Tusong Centre just to show you. Last month we were here to cover the story when this municipal building was set alight, and as you said in your introduction, it was as a result of indigent residents not wanting to reapply for the indigent grants, which would have then given them access to free electricity units as well as free litres of water for the month. They're saying that they don't want to reapply because they don't see the reason why they should reapply. The municipality as well as the mayor had several meetings with the local residents, and obviously those negotiations have now broken down, and as a result of this municipal building having been set alight and gutted, they then moved to the Tusong Centre in an area called Railton, and early in the morning some residents from an area, and I'm told by the local residents in Railton that residents from the informal settlement called Machoks came down early this morning and set the Tusong Centre alight. Now, this centre is a place where the social development has their SASSA office where people can come and collect their social grants. It's also an area where Home Affairs has an office, and it's also an e-learning centre. And as a result of that centre now being set alight and destroyed, people will not be able to go and collect their social grants or go and collect and apply for their IDs or passports. And also those at school will not be able to go to the e-learning centre. But also, I just also want to show you that we're here in the town in Swellendam, and it's a total shutdown. There are no people or very few people walking the streets. Some of the businesses have shut down completely. We can also see some businesses have opened, but the owners of the businesses are standing outside. But I'm told that if this had been any other time, like yesterday, for instance, this road would have been busy and people would have been in the shops busy buying their goods. But let's listen to what one of the residents in Railton had to say about what happened at the Tusong Centre earlier today.
Really know what led to this, but the last time when they protested, they were also breaking down. They broke down in town and whatsoever. Now they're coming here. My thing is this, where the police had to come in. For example, they started with the Wendy House. This is a purpose for us, because here are some community members that have children that are being born. Where are they going to get the chance to use Home Affairs? There's people that don't have money or whatever to travel to Caledon, Bredasdorp, or whatsoever places you may name it. Then here's the telecenter for the children. Here's children that is unprivileged that need to use this telecenter, for example, the exams that's due now. Maybe it's projects or whatsoever, they can't use it. Why? Because people that is, I don't even know if most of them are South African citizens. They are breaking us down. And we as the community, we are not standing together. The police isn't standing with us. They are protecting the white people, which is wrong. What about us?
All right, Hloni, the storm that actually happened in Gauteng last night left a trail of destruction in some parts of the province. You've been in the capital, one of the areas that have been affected. What have you seen?
Yeah, Masego. So just as Aisha was talking, we had a car drop off a sail that will be put over the home of the Ndulis because their roof blew off yesterday or last night during the storm, and so that will offer some sort of reprieve for the family as they kind of work out what's happening. But their house at around 9:30, when that wind started blowing, they could see and they could feel the roof coming off, and then it did eventually come off, and then it blew to the back of the house. The kitchen is the only part of the house that has not been affected, but the 2 bedrooms, the TV room and the living room, you can see through the roof, and you can see the sky obviously from there. They are very shell-shocked, of course, given what has happened. And it's been more than 12 hours since it happened, but they are still in shock, and they are still kind of trying to understand what's happened and what they are going to do. Lots of cries of assistance, just in terms of trying to map out what is going to happen. But yeah, they are deeply, deeply shocked about what has happened. Not the only area that has been affected. We were earlier in the Camille Drift informal settlement, just off Moloto Road, and there about 80 to 90 informal settlements burnt down, caused by a fire that had been in the area that was carried over or propelled by the strong winds from last night. Not the only place we heard of as well. We heard that in Soshanguve in block KK, there were a few informal settlements as well there where their roofs also came off. Just to say, the informal settlement in Camille Drift, the people there believe that had they been in formal housing, had they not been in this situation, then this possibly could not have happened. The issue of the fire is one thing, but if, and it will, or the issue of, the wind will cause destruction, obviously in any situation. I mean, we can see here this formal housing and it's caused destruction, but in an informal settlement, that will then obviously be multiplied, the kind of scale or the potential for damage. So in the Tshwane area, in the north of Tshwane especially, we are hearing that there have been all sorts of incidences that have happened. We also heard that in Winterveld as well, there were also issues there. So there has been destruction. Again, as I said, the family here, they are still trying to make sense of what they're going to do, counting down the hours, but hopefully that sail that has arrived to close off their roof will be able to be fitted, and just for this night they will be able to have some sort of peace or some sort of settling, not concerned as much about security, or have that at least covered. Just to say, the informal settlement in Camille Drift, we had someone donating 5 informal settlements to the area that they have brought in just to help that area. But as I said, it's 80 informal settlements or 90 that have been affected. They're also waiting for the Department of Social Development, the councillor said, to assist them to either rehome them or try and find try to find help for them. There's also the issue, of course, of the documents that they need to sort out as well. So, there is a lot that has happened over the past few hours in this area, Masaho.
And Manqoba, you're in Diepsloot again, unfortunately this time covering crime and murder again. Community members took the law into their own hands, we understand, killing a suspected robber. What are you hearing?
Well, certainly, Masiko, and this just gives you a sense of the crime in this area and what residents have been complaining about over the past few months. Of course, we're here in June when residents took to the streets, I think in a month-long protest, calling for intervention, specifically calling for President Cyril Ramaphosa to come to this area. They even went as far as going to the Union building right at the president's doorstep, where they'd invited the president to come to this area. But they say nothing has changed in this community. In fact, the minute the police deployments were removed from this area, they went back to square one as far as crime is concerned. You recall that they've been accusing those that are illegally here in the country of being behind some of the criminal activities in this community. And yesterday, just a day after the mayor of Johannesburg was in this community, another robber was apprehended by community members. And that particular robber was then stoned by community members, and ultimately they also wanted to set him alight, but the police were quick to intervene as far as that is concerned. So the residents saying that they're still at the mercy of criminals, they are still living in constant fear in this community. And just to give you a sense, Masiko, of just how bad the situation is, in the past 3 weeks or so, 12 people have been killed in this community. But to get a sense of what happened here and what the community is saying, I'm joined by Loyiso Toia, who is from the Diepsloot Community Forum. Loyiso, thank you for your time. This, of course, is quite a tragic incident, but it speaks to the issue of crime in this community. And, of course, the fact that up until now there has been no intervention.
Thanks, Mangoba. First, I would like to say, as community leaders, we condemn any form of violence that is done by the community, being mob justice or any of that sort. Indeed, Mangoba, the situation in the past 3 weeks have become dire. We've lost more than 12 people as we speak now. Hence, last week we have decided to do a legal march to the police station to ask for the intervention of the police. You will remember that we are still engaging with the Office of the Presidency to have a permanent solution regarding the crime that is happening in our community. We are still waiting the response of when are these ministries coming that we have requested, when is the president coming down to Diepsloot to resolve this matter permanently. It is unfortunate that the community have done what they've done yesterday. Hence, we have said as leaders, we've condemned such.
And you were saying it could have been avoided?
It could have been avoided if our government would have would have listened to our call to say, come down, let us resolve this matter permanently. These are a solution that we think that can resolve these kind of matters. The community is getting angrier and angrier each and every day. Sometimes as leaders, there's nothing we can do to avoid such. You can't really control people that are being killed each and every day in the hands of criminals. Any opportunity that they get, they use it to avenge what has been happening to them.
Thank you very much, Loiso, for your time. As you can hear, Masiko, the community is still hoping for some sort of intervention, saying that they're still trying to engage the Office of the President, but they feel like they're fighting a losing battle as far as crime is concerned in this area. And this is why, we saw that incident that happened yesterday. The community leaders are saying that they've been trying to keep, the tensions calm in this community, but the community members have had enough. I mean, just a short while ago, we're at one of the homesteads where a whole entire family was wiped out.
Right.
They were shot and killed in that incident, a mother, a father, as well as a child. So it tells you of the story of crime and the war that these community members are trying to put as far as crime is concerned.
All right, that was your eNCA lunchtime update from all angles with reporters Mangoba Mchunu, Hlonimthim Khulu and Aisha Ishmael. Thank you, team. Let's leave it there for now.